NFL weekend recap, not weekend plays, weekend recap. Starting off a new show here where I'm going to go over the exact plays, why I took them. I'm going to show you guys my tickets, my explanation. I'm going to go over a couple things that's going to teach you guys a thing or two. I got a special guest, special new partner, new coach in my program. His name is Anthony. Donnie is his real name. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm fantastic, man. Happy to have you here. Happy to get these shows going. We're going to do this every week, going over the weekend plays. So not only are we going to give you guys picks on the weekends, but we're also going to break them down after the fact so you guys could learn a thing or two. As you can see in the top left, we did pretty well, and I'm going to cover it right now. So let's get to it. Weekend headlines, we went 5-0. Saturday, we started off with Seton Hall plus 4.5 in Butler, and they won outright. I'm going to break that down in a bit because college basketball is something that a lot of you guys are asking me about. I want to break that down for you guys. NFL was dominated. CJ Stroud dominated the Browns. 10 tonight, we had Kansas City in a parlay with the Lions, which hit the next day. We had Lions money line. And 10, the wild card weekend, Bucks plus 3. That was the easiest play of the weekend. That or Houston, both were $10,000 plays, both won. 5-0 10 the weekend, over $30,000 profited, guys. I'll explain everything now. Plus, a good advantage about us and this system and this team is we put our money where our mouth is. And I do, and he does as well, and Salim does as well. And we bet pretty big, as you can tell. This is a Hard Rock ticket. $5,000, $10,000. My boy Donnie here bets half my units, which is $2,500 or $5,000 per play. And Salim bets a couple thousand too, guys. So we're actually doing this, and we want to teach you guys and show you guys how to actually do this. So let's break down Seton Hall plus 4.5, guys. Saturday, first game of the day. It was a 12 p.m. game. Now, instead of college football, it's going to be college basketball during the day on Saturdays, which I love personally. I think college basketball is a lot more exciting to watch. Now, two things about college basketball with me, and I break this down in my mastermind pretty well because there's a big key that I look at in college basketball, and that's offensive rebounding. When a team gets 2 or 3 times to score in one possession in college basketball, that's a big deal. It's not as big as a deal in NBA because teams are able to bounce back. There's better players in NBA. In college basketball, there's a lot of kids, guys. A lot of kids, 18, 19, 20-year-olds that can get hot and get cold really fast, and it happens, right? It's a very momentum-driven sport. So rebounding was a big key for me in that game. Best player on the court, Richmond. The guy's been balling. As a matter of fact, always as transparent as I am, I faded Seton Hall 2 days ago against St. John's. St. John's is a better offensive rebounding team. I backed that up, but Richmond killed us, man. This guy decided to ball out at home and played really well. But that was a key reason as well why I took it. In college football and college basketball, you want to take teams with the best players and the most experience as well, man. Because these guys are young. The people that have experience handle situations that are uncomfortable a little bit better. They handle moments under pressure a lot better, right? And lastly, a big thing that I look at, especially over the last 2-3 years, because college basketball players come in and out every 4 or 5 years. So the head-to-head over the last 2-3 years, Seton Hall has dominated in Butler and in Seton Hall, right? So the key things that I looked into this game, right, when I made these lines for myself, I didn't see Butler as a minus 4.5 favorite at all, as a matter of fact. I thought Seton Hall should have been a 1 or 2 point underdog. So I saw a lot of value in this play, and then you add to the fact that defensively and rebounding, they're a better team. It was an easy pick to start the day and to start the weekend and to start the run that we went on. That was huge. Donnie, how much did you take this ticket for?
Yeah, $2,500.
A little
money?
Yeah, a little money.
It was a good play.
It was a good play. Now we came on to Texas plus 3, man. Now this game surprised everybody because I spoke about it in my YouTube. I gave it out for free to you guys, but it was going to be a $5,000 play. It was a lean for most of the time. And after I did hit Seton Hall, I was like, okay, feeling good, feeling like I should. And Texas was a key play here, man. One of the big things that I want to highlight is key point number 3. And this is something that most of you guys overlook, especially if you're starting off. That line is very telling. 2.5 in Houston after the Browns had played them a couple of weeks before. Houston had more of their players. For example, Dell was playing that game. He didn't play this game, and they dominated them. So that line was a little bit weird to me. Majority of the money was coming into the Browns, and that line did not flinch to 3. Vegas wasn't confident enough to make it a 3-point line, which is a key number. Games typically end by 3 or 7 in NFL. So that was a big key for it, right? No, that was the main point of the pick. home court advantage was a big play for me. And CJ Stroud, you can't really compare him to Flacco or other quarterbacks because he's been, 1 year in the league. But little things that people don't talk about is how he's been getting better every single game, just like Jordan Love. Jordan Love is a player that in the beginning of the season, he was someone else compared to now. So I think CJ Stroud is going to be the next Aaron Rodgers. Comparing him to like Aaron Rodgers or Brett Favre, guy that keeps cool, calm, collected, can move in the pocket. If he needs to move out of the pocket, he moves out and still throws dimes. And we saw it against one of the best defenses in the league. He cooked them. I think you can agree, Tony, that game got out of hand in the second half. It wasn't a gimme till pretty much Flacco threw his second interception, his pick six, which, did you see that video of the coach calling it out?
Yeah, so I was watching that game and I really thought, okay, Browns are probably going to make a comeback. There'll be halftime adjustments and they'll come out swinging. So I was looking at the +8 on the Browns side as a live bet, and I took that a little bit to cover some of the +3 to try and win both. But in that spot, it was a good time to take that bet, but obviously it didn't go our way. Came out through two pick sixes. Game got out of hand real quick. So
it got out of hand quick, brother. But at the end of the day, that's kind of hard to predict, right? That he's gonna come out in the second half and throw two interceptions, and two interceptions are a pick six. That's where you have an edge, a little bit of an edge, but you can't be 100% right most of the time. But guys, if there's a learning lesson for at least this pick, read the bottom line, right? 2.5 and 6.5 lines in football are key lines for me. It means Vegas isn't confident enough to put them up in a key number, and that opens my eyes, especially if the money's going for that team that's favored. Why isn't Vegas doing that? You guys got to think like an investigator. I'm not the sharpest sharp, neither is Tony. The sharpest sharp is Las Vegas. So you got to analyze why they're doing these certain plays. And did the line ever flinch to 3? It never really flinched to 3. In most books, it was at 2.5. And there's another scenario that's going to be played out this weekend that's very similar, and I'm going to cover it at the end of the episode. But Texas +3, $10,000 play, 2-0 Saturday, and we ended that Saturday with the Chiefs Lions moneyline parlay. So this is something I don't typically do too often, guys. I'm not a big parlay, guys. You guys know I'm all about discipline, thinking long term. But this was an opportunity, and I've been testing this strategy now for the past 3 months. It's been going really well. So you guys know, before I start sending out plays to my clients, to my members, I test it out for a period of time, and I make sure that the success rate is where I need it to be. And in this case, you're going to start seeing a lot more two-team parlays. So look at the math below, right? My idea when I came out in the YouTube video, I told you guys Lions money line, $10,000 play. That was the play. Now, I found an opportunity here because the Chiefs, to me, were the clear winner. But as you can read there, I didn't trust them to win by 4.5 due to the weather. I really thought that if it was going to be a running game, it'd be a closer game and it'd end by 3, give or take, right? So 4.5, I was not going to lay it. And I don't play money lines over -200. The risk is not worth the reward for me. So I decided to test out the strategy with my clients, and I put the Chiefs money line and the Lions money line, and that hit. So why I did that and why it was important for this weekend was because of the bottom. If I had taken the Lions money line for 10,000, I would have made close to $6,000, 5,882. But since I added the Chiefs and I added that in the parlay, my profit was a lot higher. It was almost $4,000 higher. Now, of course, I carried the risk of playing Chiefs. If they had lost, I probably would have gone down, right? A little bit. I would have lost $2,000 because I still would have taken the Lions. But I had the confidence in them. I knew they were going to win that game. I think we all knew. Tua turned the ball over, shit the bet again. That guy needs to get cut. That guy sucks, but that's not the point of this episode. Tony, you think Tua sucks too, right?
Yeah, a little inconsistent, I would say. I think
Dude,
the Dolphins
fuck Tua.
pros.
Fuck Tua. Fuck Dak. Those guys need to get benched and move the fuck on. So, two-team parlays. You want to explain why we do this and why we're testing this strategy?
Yeah, so when you take a two-team parlay, you're really taking advantage of two favorites to get better odds. And, in general, parlays are never supposed to be a big part of your bankroll. You don't expect to win those 5, 10, 15 leg parlays, because those are usually like money burners. So our approach is taking, two favorite teams, putting them together, getting a nice return at plus money, and you always have the opportunity to hedge later. So in this instance where we had KC, they won the first game. Now we had Detroit moneyline basically at plus 132, and that created a lot of opportunities for us to get out. So the first one is an arbitrage opportunity. The original bet, which was KC and in Detroit, became Detroit's money line at plus 132. So Fred had 5,000 on that, and he could have simply said, hey, something's changed in the game. There's been an injury or whatever before the game starts. Maybe I want to take the Rams now and protect my profits. But there was also an even better opportunity. Instead of just hedging, you could have middled. And so hedging is when you reduce your risk, right? Instead of potentially losing that $5,000, you don't want to lose it. So you look for a way to get out of that bet. A middle is when you take two sides of a bet, but you actually have the opportunity to win both. And so what I called out was there was a potential middle, right? We had Detroit at plus 132, and you could have taken the spread for the Rams at plus 3.5. So by putting $5,000 on that side, if Detroit won by 1, 2, or 3 points, you would have hit both sides, right? Money line and plus 3.5.
I'm gonna say something really quick. This bastard decided to do that and not tell me, and he made double the amount of money. So fuck you for that, but keep on.
I told you just don't listen to me, man. I'm kidding. Nah, I'm teasing it.
Hey, that was a good hit though. I gotta give it to you, man. And these are little things, guys, that so you know when we invest and we don't gamble, these are the little strategies that can help you minimize risk, can help you double the rewards, and sometimes get you out of situations that you don't want to be in. And that's where Anthony excels. That's where Anthony's been a baller pretty much his whole life. This was a strategy where he ended up winning double the amount because he had Lions money line already in a parlay. He took the Rams plus 3.5. Lions won by 1, guys. That was easy.
Yeah, so I'll just kind of like get into the specifics on how that works so that you guys can understand the math. But the original parlay represented by the Lions money line now, 5,000 at plus 132, you would have had a payout of 11,600. So if the Detroit Lions won by 4 or more, you would have walked away with $1,600, because when you take that hedge or that middle and you're laying $5,000, you have the potential to obviously win one side and not the other. So if the LA Rams would have won outright, you would have actually lost $967.74. But that is the opportunity that was given. You had the chance to de-risk your potential loss, and you also had the opportunity by taking this bet at that time to almost double your profit. So Detroit wins by 1, 2, or 3, you actually win $10,632.26, and that's because both sides of that bet won. But it's a low risk, high reward opportunity, and that's exactly what I identified when we got into the situation where the Chiefs won on Saturday night. These are things that we continue to look for: how to manage your money, how to get out of situations when, factors change. And the long-term mindset is you can protect your money and, win more in the long term.
Without a doubt. That was a great hit, man. Just to add on to it, everybody's different, guys. Everybody's a little bit different when it comes to risk tolerance. Some people are more risky. They want to take that action and not protect their downside, and that's okay. I was like that for a long time. And then there's people that are more conservative about it, right? And I'm a firm believer that being conservative is the way to grow your bankroll. There's no such thing as getting rich quick. Slowly but surely you will if you're consistent about your actions, right? So this is a really great way that I wish I would have known starting off, because it would have protected me a lot had I known all these little things. And take it into account, learn about this. If you have more questions regarding this, message our page, message AF Sports. The links are all below, and follow our Telegram. That way you can ask us those direct questions if you do have questions, and you can protect that downside like my boy Anthony ended up doubling his play there and not telling me. But let's move on, guys. Lions money line, guys. Lions money line. That was a $10,000 play. That was my biggest play of the weekend, originally coming with when I was doing the NFL video. But since I had that $5,000 parlay, the Chiefs had already won. I wasn't going to add a $10,000 play. I already had enough risk. I typically only have $10,000 worth of risk every single day. That's my limit. I don't go above that, right? Especially if there's already games on the line. So I talked about it a lot in the NFL video when I created it, but I believe in Campbell, man. I believe in the balls that guy has, man. Balls of steel. And he showed it. I said that game was going to be won by coaching decisions, and it was won by coaching decisions. 4th down, throwing that ball to Laporte, winning that first and foremost. I thought they were gonna run it. He threw it on 4th down, a risky ass play, touchdown. All right, but the play that really I was like, wow, man, this guy has balls of steel, is when he threw that ball to end the game. Goff wasn't having a good second half at all, and he gave him the ball to throw it, 1st down, ice the game. When I thought it was going to be a clear running situation, and that was key, man. Those key moments win you games, and that guy's all in on it, right? Home field, Detroit, as you guys know, they play way better at home, and so do most teams. I think the only team that really doesn't stand out too much at home in the playoffs is the Buccaneers. They were a pretty average 4-4 at home this season, but Detroit has that stadium, right? Run defense. So what I expected out of this game was what I saw in the first half. Perfectly what I saw in the first half. And I think there was moments that made this game a lot closer. As I wrote in the bottom, 3rd and 18, Rams have the ball in their half. Stafford throws a no-look pass. They convert. They go and score a touchdown. Those are moments you can't allow in the playoffs. The Lions do that to a team like the Bills, they're going to lose that game, right? They did it to the Rams. The Rams were up and coming. They were starting to play better, but they didn't play a full season together, the whole team. There was a lot of injuries. So I factored that in as well. Stafford played above and beyond. I got to give you guys that. The guy played well. I did not expect that from him, but I knew it was going to depend on him. I knew the run defense for Detroit is something that they excelled in this whole offseason, trying to perfect, and that they did, because the Rams were non-existing with the run game. But Stafford did his thing and kept it close. And I'll be honest, that game could have been lost. That last throw to Puka, that was a hold. That was a pass interference. That would have put them in field goal range. And that saved us, right? But nonetheless, the Lions kind of let up in the second half a little bit and let that team catch up. The momentum did change significantly, but we hit the play, guys. That's the important part. At the end of the day, I don't care if I win by 100, if I win by 1, if I win by 0.1, a W is a W. It's as simple as that. And an L is an L. If you lose by 1, you lose by 100, it's a fucking L. You move on. Lions money line, that makes it, what was that now? 4-0 on the weekend. And we go to our final pick, which was Mondays, right? Mondays, I'm feeling confident, guys. When I'm on a 4-0 run, and this is something that if you're doing this every day, and you're doing this the right way, professionally, I'll talk about this a little bit more, you start noticing patterns about yourself, about when to start scaling your plays, when to start doing certain little things. And I'll go over it right at the end when I'm going to go over one play for this weekend. So stay tuned the whole video, because I'm going to go over a play for this weekend. Buccaneers +6, guys. Plain and simple, I had no trust in the Eagles. I had no trust in the Eagles after that Chiefs game where their coach decided to start talking shit to the Chiefs. They went downhill. We've all been seeing it on social media. The Bucs are a team that came into this game with momentum. I see the Bucs a lot like I see Houston in a way. Baker, last year he was playing defensive lineman for the Panthers. Now he's leading a team to the playoffs. Baker's a guy that started the season with them. A lot of unknowns, but the guy's picking it up, man. Baker's elite, and that game could have been a bigger blowout had Mike Evans caught a couple of those passes, and another player too. They had the momentum. The defense is key, and this is the play that I'm looking at for this weekend, guys, against the Lions. We saw the Lions this weekend, and remember, I officially put the play in the Telegram. This is not an official play just yet. It's just a link giving you guys a little bit more information. Join that Telegram. Click that link below, and I'll make it official there. But with that said, remember how I spoke earlier in the show about 6.5 and 2.5? There's another sketchy line to me, and the Bucs are coming with momentum. The Bucs have a passing game that Detroit kind of lacks, man. We saw that Stafford picked them apart. They have a great run defense, but passing wise they don't have it. And defensively, I see the Bucs as the better defensive team. They just give you different looks. Their linebackers, White's a beast. They got that team. They got that swagger right now and that momentum. And the whole home field, away field, at least in the sense of the weather, right, that affects a lot of teams. It's not going to be the case because the Lions play in a dome. So 6.5 is a line that I'm looking at, guys. Again, I'll make it official in the chat. But 5-0 on the weekend. Over $30,000 profited. The tickets are right there. You guys see it. I think Tony made a little bit more because he decided to do the middle bet that he didn't show me about. And I think he did this too. That bastard decided to do a teaser and not follow my parlay. And he's going to explain why they're better. Go for it.
Yeah, so everybody takes parlays, right? But most of the time you're losing by that one leg. I think we called out in last week that we were taking basically a parlay with the Steelers +10.
Fuck the Steelers.
And that was the one that ended up costing us. So I didn't take that because I'm a smarter better. So instead, I look at teasers and where you can buy points. So if you don't know what a teaser is or buying points, you're buying points on a specific game to get a better line so that it has basically a higher chance of hitting. When you look at a parlay, parlays have, accumulation of odds. The more you add to it, the higher the payout. A $100 bet would turn it into, 1,000, right? 10-1. But on a teaser, you're going to get, plus 170, but you get extra points on each of those games. You get a lower payout, but you get a higher probability of hitting the play. And so in the example that we have in this slide, this was the play I looked at prior, or when that parlay was called out, just to see, is this going to hit or not? And, I like the Bucs, the Lions. I did like the Steelers covering +10 only because the Bills haven't really covered those double-digit spreads, right? When Vegas puts out that double-digit spread, they're guaranteed to win by 2 touchdowns, and it just hasn't happened this year. So, both teams can play in cold weather. They're both used to the snow. We didn't know what was going to happen until the game started. End of the day, +10 lost and +17 won.
Did you take the Caesar?
Yeah, $100.
Nice.
A little sprinkle. Nothing big. Teasers and parlays, I don't play big. The main plays are where the action's at.
Dude, you're such an investor. Like you did it. You didn't take the parlay. You did a teaser. You're an investor, bro. I believe in you.
Yeah. So I mean, it's a long-term mindset. It's a win or a loss. If you took the parlay, you lost. If you took the teaser, you won. And long term, it's the teasers and middling out and hedging out, protecting your money that's going to make you guys more money over time. It's going to help you not have those swings in bankroll, and you're going to be a lot more profitable and keep your emotions out of it. That's a big thing.
Without a doubt, man. I took that parlay, guys. I did. I won't deny that. Now, I didn't make it official to my clients. I put it in the show because if it hit, I wanted to back it up, of course. Now, that's not a strategy for me, guys, ever. I throw those parlays, to be completely real with you guys, as a fun one. I know you guys like that stuff, but in reality, the way I've grown my bankroll, the way I've done what I'm showing you guys right here, is all through straight bets, and I'll only taking 1 to 2 plays a day. I could say that last year I probably took in total 6 parlays, and I typically do it when I'm up on the week. You know, if I've done well, I reward myself with a little parlay to make more. But it's not a strategy to win long term. I do agree with Anthony there, but still, fuck the Steelers for it, because it was one catch, man. It was one catch. The guy wasn't able to fucking tackle him. I mean, certain situations, right? You can't throw a pick in the end zone like that. That was terrible. But I promise you guys one thing, I'm gonna hit a parlay this weekend. Fucking teasers. Guys, 10 winning months in a row. Now, I'm not showing this to brag. I know a lot of you guys have probably seen this, like, dude, that's not true. And I can prove it. It's not, I mean, if you don't believe it, that's fine. But the reality of the matter is that I've done this with discipline, with the systems, right? And a lot of you guys want to do this, and it's going to become a lot more popular to start doing this because it's getting legalized everywhere, right? It's getting promoted everywhere now as well, and more people are going to get into it. And it's key, guys, keys, that you do it the right way, right? So I'm going to give you guys basically what it really takes to do this in 3 simple steps. And as you can see, number 1 is patience. And with patience, you're not going to start taking parlays. You're not trying to get rich quick. You're seeing this as a long-term investment, which you need to if you want to profit, right? So patience is key. See this long term, and long term in this industry is a year, guys. See it as a year, see it as 6 months as the minimum. Track your results, and in 6 months, if you have a system and you're doing it correctly, you're gonna profit. Anybody and everybody can have a bad week. As a matter of fact, it goes to the point of last week. I started the week down 0-4, 0-5. I was down $15,000-$20,000, guys. 15-20. And in those moments, you scratch your head a little bit. Everybody does, including myself. You're like, fuck, man, like, what's going on? Especially clients too that don't know what's going on, even though I try to communicate with them. But what's the basic reaction at that point when push comes to shove, when shit gets a little tough? What do weak people do? They jump off the boat, man. They don't have the discipline. They don't have the trust in themselves to stick it through. And that's what you need in this industry if you really want to win long term. Got to be able to stick it through. It takes some balls to really do this, because you're going to have a bad run and you got to get back up and punch back. But it takes patience. It takes pig-headed discipline. And notice how I put pig-headed, because it is pig-headed. You got to continually do the same thing over and over, even if it's not working, because in the long run it works. There's moments it doesn't work when you zoom in on, let's say, 3, 4, 5 days. In the long run, you see it for the 10 months, you're like, oh fuck, that works. But if you see, let's say, the first 4 days of last week, you're like, damn, you fucking suck. And again, that ties into long-term versus short-term mindset. And then most important, having the systems and processes, guys, right? Mindset is key. It's 80% of this, right? Because if you can't manage your bankroll, if you chase or you get greedy, then you can win 90% of your bets, but you're gonna lose it because you have no discipline. But if you do have that discipline already, or you're working on it, then the last piece is having the right systems and processes, right? Systems of how to hedge out, systems of how to middle, systems of how to pick plays, which is what we teach, right? We teach in our mastermind how to pick the plays without emotion, how to profit long term, and they're bulletproof systems, guys. I've been profitable in this industry for the past 8 years. I keep saying 7, but time's just flying by, and I just say my 8th year, so I'm in fuck, man, I'm almost hitting a decade in this industry. I feel old. But the point is, systems and processes are key, guys. Really, 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 this is like making the NBA, man, if you want to be profitable. As a matter of fact, I just don't know if the validity about it, but I was looking to see what's the percentage of successful sports bettors, and it's 0.017 according to a website I saw. I'm gonna validate that and let you guys know, but it's probably very similar, because successful traders is the same percentage, successful investors, same percentage. So don't think this is easy. It takes work, it takes time, it takes discipline. You're gonna have long nights. You're gonna have days that you want to fucking jump off a balcony because you've lost so much money, but you got to control those emotions, man. You got to see it for what it is. It's okay. Bad days happens. Learn from them and bounce back. So really wanted to end it on this note, because it's all fun and games, right? You guys are seeing me win this money, huge money, but the reality of the matter is I have low points too, right? And it's important that when I'm in those low points, I take it day by day and see it as a long-term investment, guys. Going to start doing this every week with my boy Tony and giving you guys more examples so you guys can not only grasp what we're doing, but how we're doing it, right? Not many people are doing this. Most people just give you picks. Some picks are fucking fake. You can keep it G with us. We're very real when it comes to this, right? So if you guys enjoyed this show, if you guys have learned something from it, if you guys like it, found it funny, whatever the fuck, if you find value on it, share it. That's the only way I grow the show. As you can see, we've been growing organically. It's been growing a lot faster now. So thank you for those that are sharing it. It means a lot to me, and it motivates me to continue doing these things to help you guys out. As you can see, I added an expert, Donnie. They might not be here next week if he doesn't let me know about his middle bets this week, but for now he's in it. Donnie, you got any words for the crowd before we let him go?
Oh yeah, a couple things. I would just say everybody needs to have a long-term mindset whenever you get involved in betting, and it's okay to, if you're new, to sit back and watch a little. You're never gonna fully learn until you commit to something and are actually taking plays. But I think it's important when anyone starts that you're taking plays at a very low amount. Betting is money that you shouldn't need to pay your bills with. It should be extra, treated as an investment. And when you put that money aside, then you don't feel like, oh, if this play doesn't hit, well, I can't pay my rent. It's the way you look at things. So treat it as an investment. Take the time to learn. There's so many free tools out there. So much knowledge on sports betting, YouTube, whatever it is. You guys can learn all the basics. When you graduate from those basics and want to get involved, join a team that is going to help you, that's looking out for your best interest, that has money on the line with you, right? Those are the type of people you want to get involved with.
That's going above and beyond and showing you these things too, man, right?
Yeah,
that
exactly.
gives you guys an analysis of who actually cares and who doesn't, right? Yeah. Are they trying to sell you a pick every day, or they're trying to guide you and show you and educate you and potentially put you in a position where, okay, maybe we can work together one day? Those are the little differences, guys, and that's the key difference, and that's why Donnie's part of the team now. He sees it long term. He's excelled in this industry. He was a prior client. He learned my systems. He excelled in it so much, started doing a little bit better than me, that I was like, man, this is a guy that I need to add to my team. And now we are, and we're gonna grow this bad boy and help you guys out. First of many, guys, Donnie, thank you for being on the show. I'll see you guys next week, and I'll see you next week too, brother. Cheers.